Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Now, I want to say something that I think many programmers need to understand, and that is you need to think of programming as like an art form, because when you paint a painting, you don't rush it out as fast as possible just to create a painting that has cool like features, as in a painting that has many objects in it. You don't just rush that out, because then it's going to look bad. No matter if it has so many objects on the painting, it's still going to look like a bad painting. Now, the same thing actually applies to programming. Now, if you have a program, now you may just rush all the features in and write terrible code. Now, writing bad code, it not only affects the performance of your code, but it also affects the readability of your code. Now, I would like to say that number one priority of your programming should be cleaning the code. That should be your number one priority, is to have the most tidy code. Now, the second priority would be to add the actual features themselves. Oh, actually, that's the third priority. The second priority is to document. Now, over the course of me writing a graphics engine, I've rewrote it about 15 times, because every single time I realize I wrote bad code, unclean, spaghetti code, bad performance. Now, this really is important for programming, because I think over the course of which I've learned programming just by practicing, I found that it's really important to prioritize the cleanness of your code. The best code should be neat and organized. There shouldn't be like two things shouldn't link each other in an unclean way. Like, generally, you shouldn't have two things that like reference each other. At least in my opinion, it makes the code pretty unreadable, and it makes it kind of spaghetti like. And just prioritize the best clean code. Every single line of code that you write, make sure it's the best possible line of code that you could write, because this makes it better for your future self to read the code. This makes it better for the performance. This makes it better for writing new code. If you write new code for terrible code, it's going to be really hard to write new code, because you're going to have to figure out your big spaghetti mess of code. So that's just a pretty important, I think that's just a pretty important thing to do. Make sure your code is tidy. And that's all I really want to say. I think more people need to know that clean code should be prioritized over feature-rich code.